and welcome to the ASC Business Spot Podcast. I'm Chris, the owner and founder of ASC Business Consulting. Now, today's topic I'm very excited to talk about because it is something that is incredibly important, but like you can see in the video title, the cold, hard truth of starting a business and how to be successful in business. Before that, though, not a word from our sponsors, but alluding to last week's Business Spot, if you're tuning in to this Business Spot today from last week, you'll notice something a little different, and that's that our video is actually full screen now for your viewing pleasure. And really to touch on what we talked about last week in the May 31st video, talking about content strategy and branding, is brands are always evolving. And so this was something that we noticed, our team noticed that, yeah, we can polish this up a little bit. Let's make videos that are optimized for YouTube and for the YouTube platform. So if this is your first Business Spot podcast, welcome. Glad you're here. If you're coming from our old ones, you will notice that, yes, we are full screen and we are looking much better now. But on to our video topic. What is the cold, hard truth of finding success or being successful in business? It's something that a lot of people might find difficult. They might not be always super comfortable with, and that is sales. So in today's Business Spot, we want to take just a few minutes and talk about a few things with regards to sales. And it is really our philosophy, the ASC philosophy and my philosophy really on sales. The types of selling that not only ASC employs, although we don't use all of these, but the most common or the most successful types of sales depending on your business, and how to prospect and really how to make sure that you're making the most of your selling efforts or your sales efforts. So starting off, what is our philosophy on sales? We really focus on two to three big things in our philosophy on sales. And it is don't be a cheesy salesman. Focus on the customer, the client, the relationship. That's number one. And to really achieve that and to make sure we're living that every day, we focus on education. Whether, for example, I'll actually give ASC as an example here. We've tried the whole selling tactics, and although we've seen some success, it's not a very successful model. Whereas through education, this is when ASC was first started, when I first started this business, I was in a niche, and the company was in a niche that wasn't really tapped into a lot. It was providing kind of those big consulting business, kind of your big consulting agencies. It was providing that service, providing those solutions to entrepreneurs, to startups, to people who maybe couldn't afford those big consulting business solutions. So we're really diving into some uncharted waters here, and so we really wanted to educate entrepreneurs and first-time business owners on the importance of, hey, here's why it's important to have a business plan. Here's why a marketing strategy is so important. Hey, do you have your sales strategy, your marketing strategy? Do you have a hiring strategy? Do you have an org chart? Here's why these things, these foundations are important in your business, and we're here to help. So number one is education in our philosophy. Number two, kind of alluded to it here, is you have to know what your value proposition really is. And beyond that, you don't just have to know your value proposition, or that is what sets you apart, what's going to make someone go past every other competitor and specifically choose you. You have to live it. You have to make sure that your value proposition is a part of your mission, your values, your vision, and really live and breathe that difference so that you can make a difference. That sounds pretty good, actually. Might have to write that down on our website. But beyond that, the third thing is knowing your demographics. And this is really important because our philosophy on sales is we're not just going to start spamming everybody and anybody with our value proposition and start educating random people on the street or random people down the block about our value proposition. We are going to be very intentional and very specific with who we promote this value proposition to. We're really focusing on pre-qualifying leads, pre-qualifying clients, and understanding that, someone that is, for ASC, for example, someone who's already owning a multi-million dollar business, probably not our target demographic. We're going after small business owners or people who are in that growth phase, really within their first 5 years of owning a business. That's who we're specifically focusing on targeting. So again, to recap your philosophy or our philosophy on sales, it's education, value proposition, and demographics. And those are your big things that you want to focus on in sales. Now, what are the types of sales? Obviously, we've already taken about 5 minutes. For those that don't know, the new business spots, they're only about 5 to 7 minutes long. So we're going to go through these types of selling really fast here, but still give you guys some value. So types of selling, there are really 10 big types of selling that I've either focused on, that I've seen people focus on, and that I've seen used in practice and seen be successful in the past. And that is cold calling. So picking up the phone, going through your call list, going through a list of phone numbers of qualified leads, maybe unqualified leads, picking up the phone, calling them, and asking for the sale. Cold emails. Kind of a nicer way of doing the cold calling is to have your pre-qualified list and start emailing people with your value proposition, with some sort of high intent ask or call to action, as well as some value in your email. Number 3, kind of rounding out what I call our traditional types of sales, is just pound the pavement, man. Whether it's door to door, whether it's business to business, get out there, get some nice running shoes on and start selling. Now, number 4, 5, and 6 here, these next 3, they're kind of all in the same sphere of sales, and that is really to do with networking. Now, number 4 is LinkedIn networking. So this is using a specific platform really built for networking, this is LinkedIn, and reaching out to people, reaching out to businesses, reaching out to professionals in your network and asking for sales that way, and sort of driving sales that way, driving intent where you can really have all the information you need on one platform. Number 5 is digital marketplaces, or really just digital networking as a whole. This is actually something I did when ASC was first started. I went to different service marketplaces, different websites and platforms online, and started offering the ASC services and started talking to professionals and people and other business owners on these websites. We're definitely going to be over 7 minutes. I apologize. Regardless, this is how ASC started up, and this is a great way if you're kind of new to an industry, new to a space. Get on platforms that are within your niche, or get on marketplaces and start to offer these services. And number 6 is offline networking. So again, more traditional, whether it's conferences, events, whatever that may be, talking to friends of friends, talking to colleagues, talking to people that you know, and do that offline networking that way. Number 7 is all about DMs on social media or other platforms. This is sort of like LinkedIn, but just sort of broadening that to other social media platforms. Very commonly, we see this on Facebook and Instagram, really your social media DMs, reaching out to people specifically that way. Number 8 is partnerships in other businesses. So this is a unique one. It can be really successful, but it's sometimes a higher barrier to entry. It's a bit more tricky to get into this type of sales and be successful with it. Usually you have to have a bit of a name built up for yourself. But everything about this is make partnerships with other businesses so you can kind of cross-sell and cross-market your products and services. Number 9 is referrals. This is a great way, kind of in the same breath as number 10, which is emails and upselling. Now, these two really work hand in hand, because with referrals, you're asking an existing client, someone who's already purchased from you, you've earned their trust, you can provide your business to someone they know. Now, on the other hand, emails and upsells, the last type of selling here is, again, going back to someone who's earned your trust that you already know and asking for their business again, asking to buy another product, buy a different product from you, and really just deepen that relationship that you have with that person. So again, to recap, in this business spot, we talked a little bit about prospecting. Be very intentional with your prospecting. That's all about your demographics. Know specifically who you are targeting and be very intentional about pre-qualifying these people. We talked about our philosophy of education, demographics, and prospecting, and education, and talked about the major types of sales. So with that, that's a wrap. I really hope you enjoyed this Business Spot podcast. If you learned anything from this, or if you have some comments you'd like to share, maybe tell me what type of sales has worked best for you, or if I missed one, better yet, let me know what kind of selling I missed. Leave that down in the comments. I always appreciate feedback from everybody on these videos. Or if you have questions about selling, about building a sales strategy for your team, reach out to us at www.ascbusinessconsulting.com. Have a fantastic day. We'll see you all soon.